distinguished adventurers, welcome to the Sketching Hour. I'm Lauren, your guide through what is going to be some amazing art made by the two people below me, who I'm going to have introduce themselves. Alexis, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Alexis. I'm the lead artist on Untitled Champions, and I'm ready to draw some monsters and cute animals squished together.
All in one. And Michelle?
Hi, I'm Michelle. I'm one of the artists on Idle Champions. I do a lot of monsters, and I'm ready.
You're just ready. I like it.
Yes.
No preamble, no nothing.
No.
If you are new to our show, our two artists are going to be using a shared canvas in order to draw something that we are going to decide on right now. As you can see from the table to one side of me, depending on which side you were looking on, we're going to do a little bit of rolling. I've got my Phoenix D20 with me today, and Michelle and Alexis will also be rolling some D20s. I'm actually going to call dibs on cute animals this time. I'm sorry. And it sounded like Michelle was going to do monsters and Alexis was going to do adjectives. Did I get that right? Okay, good. We decided on this beforehand and then I promptly forgot. So, let's do some rolling. I've got my nice rolling tray, so. All right. For monsters, what do we have for a monster today?
I got 6, so elemental.
Elemental. And how about our adjective?
Well, I also rolled a 6, which is fire.
Well, I think we know what kind of elemental we're going to be getting. We're going to have some frog fire elementals because I rolled an 11. So we're going to be moving over here to our canvas. This is Magma Studios, which lets our artists actually do art at the same time and we can watch, which is always fun. I will not be doing any art because I am your master of ceremonies, maestro. I'm the talkie bard. I'm not the art bard. So I'm here to answer questions in chat and do some other things and put my dice over there so I'm not just fiddling with the dice. I don't know about any of you, but like once I have a D20 in my hands, I'm just constantly like playing with it in my fingers and everything.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. All right, so we are doing elemental fire frogs, which I think this is the first time, like, elementals are an actual monster in D&D, but I think elemental is I think it's just a qualifier for stuff. So, now last time, while I go ahead and get the title pulled up, last time, let me pull up the previous art, we had dark gothic penguins, which is kind of amazing. And you can see the art that we've got here. We actually even had some fan art. If you are drawing along at home with what we are doing, you can see, you can use hashtag Sketching Hour on Twitter, or just at us on one of these social medias. And one of our own artists, Ivy, decided to also join in the fun and draw some fun stuff. I got the wrong art on there. That's Mehen. That's okay. You know what? That's still
amazing artwork.
It's still amazing artwork. This is what happens when I do everything last minute. Sorry. You should go check her out. I just realized now, I'm like, oh, it's amazing art though. I'm actually wearing my dragon t-shirt in honor of, Mars actually suggested it during his show, and in honor of Dragon Daddy coming to the game. I'm super excited. But let me come back over here as we are drawing some elemental fire frogs. Oh, and yeah, I gotta fix the code. We have a code issue. Give me a moment. You should be able to see the code for the Electrum chest in chat, but let me make sure it gets updated here. Look at this. Fixing things on the fly like a true professional. There we go. Code is above my head for all of you that are getting your Electrum chests. And now, the next thing I need from chat, now that we've got all of that figured out, our rolling tables need to be updated because we just had a monster and a cute animal that have been taken off of the table. And so I need some replacements. Well, I hope I have Karma, your unconditional love. That always makes me happy. But I would also love some replacement cute animals and or monsters, assumably D&D monsters. So if anyone has any suggestions, go ahead and put those in the chat. I know some of the cute animals that we have on the docket for the future are going to include otters and platypus. And we have hornets, which I'm putting very firmly in the monster category. Yeah, I didn't think
definitely.
Yeah.
No arguing there.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean,
Yeah.
I will let what are those big bumblebees? The carpenter bees. Like, I think carpenter bees are still kind of adorable and they don't attack you, but once you become like a wasp or a hornet, you are a monster. You are. Yeah. Oh, jeez. So let's see. So here's the list again for those. We've got weasel. Oh, an axolotl. Oh, I just recently learned what an axolotl was, and they are adorable. Yeah.
Super adorable.
Yeah. Chinchilla. That's it. I love how everyone is immediately in on the adorable stuff. Let me get chinchilla axolotl, which I never know how to spell, but I'll figure out how to spell it before we put it on the list. Sneaks. Do we not have snake? Oh, maybe we don't. We can get a snake on there, a capybara, hedgehog. Everybody's all about the rodents today. Ooh, tardigrade. I like that because it's adorable and ridiculous. Yes. Tardigrade. We'll put that on there. Okay. Corgi. So, yes, objectively, corgis are cute. But do we really want to get into specific dog breeds? Well, let me ask the artist, Michelle, Alexis, would you rather just have dog? Or would you rather have corgi?
Both. I think we could have corgi and generic dog.
Oh, okay.
There's so many breeds to choose from, and to narrow it down, it doesn't matter, I don't think.
We'd have to do an entire episode of the Sketching Hour in where it's just 20 different dog breeds. And then we're just doing one. It's going to be monster, adjective, and then a type of dog.
You know,
Alexa
we could probably
would
do
love
that. Just do like a speed draw of all the different dog types, and Michelle and I could split up the monster list, and then totally end up with 24 dog monsters.
I love that you said you're going to do a speed draw as if this show isn't already a speed drawing. Like, how are you going to go faster than this? Well, now it has to
drawings wouldn't be.
Yeah, they'd be a lot
They'd be
sketchier.
very super, sketchy.
I'm still really impressed every time because I don't know about all of our audience at home, but every time I watch anybody draw, I'm just like, how are you going so fast? And invariably what happens is the artist says, this is taking forever. I don't know what you're talking about. I draw, erase. I'm like, but you've crafted something out of nothing in like 5 minutes. I don't understand. Oh, as for monster, let's go for a good Underdark Sorrow Sworn. That is a deep cut Greyskull Wolf. That's also a pretty monstrous monster. I will put that on the possible list of replacements.
I think I would have to look that one up.
It's usually found, it's one of those Far Realms monsters. They're depressing in weird ways because they're like, oh, I just want to hug you, but my arms are spikes. They're that kind of thing. They're very creepy. I love it. Mars is like, how go fast? Artist edition. Which is like every week on this show. So is a Modron a monster? Okay, so technically, which is the best kind of correct. Technically, a Modron is considered a monster. That being said, that does not preclude them from being on the cute side of the rolling tables. Just because we've got creatures over here on the cute animal side that are also monsters in the monster manual. So I definitely think we could put Modrons on either side. I would ask if we go Modron, we probably need, do you want to go monodrone, duodrone? Some of them are cuter than others.
Well, I think we would have to put it on the monster side because if it was on the monster side, then you could end up with something like a Bumblebee Modron, which would be amazing.
Well, and Dylan has a good suggestion here. You could add Modron under the monster and add Clockwork under the adjectives. And then we could just like triple up on the whole Clockwork animal side.
Yeah. Well, I think we do have like, whatchamacallit? Steampunk on the adjectives.
That's true. That's true. I kind of like keeping with steampunk because then you don't have to go Clockwork if you don't want to, depending on the monster. But I do really like, I'm going to write down Modron. And yeah, we'll make a note that those are going to have to be on the monster side, but that doesn't mean they can't be cute. People are in chat already putting together their own monster. I love how every time we show that list. But today we are doing... Oh, I forgot to update our title. We're doing Elemental Fire Frogs. Let's get that updated so that everybody knows what new creature we are making. Elemental Fire Frog. Frog. I guess
my frog has come out a bit toadish, but that's okay.
All right. I know there's a difference between the two. Do you know the difference? I don't know what the differences are between toads and frogs. Do either of you know?
Are toads just like stockier and like bigger? I don't know.
They're a little chunkier.
I think I remember Kermit saying what the difference was on a Muppet Show, and I have forgotten, and I feel like a bad scientist. I feel like I've just failed science. Fistful of Rain says toads have greater reserves of anger.
Sounds about right.
That's kind of impressive. Yeah, if anyone in chat knows the difference between toads and frogs, I would accept that. Also, if anyone in chat has any questions, feel free to put question at the beginning of your question so that our mods can see it. I believe we have both Jay and Sasha in our chat. Thank you to the both of you. You're awesome. And I will do my best to answer what questions I can or pass along questions to our lovely artists. And we are here to have fun. Oh, Jay coming through with what I can only assume is a Wikipedia entry because this looks super official. Also, if Jay sends it to me, I just believe it. Frogs have long legs, longer than their head and body, which are made for hopping. That's just what they do. One of these days, no. Toads, on the other hand, have much shorter legs and prefer to crawl around rather than hop. Frogs have smooth, somewhat slimy skin. Oh. Toads have dry, warty skin. So this is going to be elemental, slimy fire frogs. I guess. Oof. Slime that's on fire, isn't that just oil?
I guess so.
I don't know. Now I'm thinking about how you get fire frogs.
And I'm thinking of like little napalm frogs. So like they're on fire and then they touch you and you get the like oily crap on you and then you're also on fire.
Like with grung, how grung are poisonous and then you can grapple as a grung and touch another creature and poison them, or you can touch a weapon, but these are fire and so they do fire damage. Although I have to admit, when you said napalm, the first thing I thought of was an alchemist creating these as little tiny bombs. Which is
they survived the bomb.
Yeah, so like Alexis, your elemental fire frog, like that's the reserve of napalm, and the artificers just chucking these frogs, and it looks like an explosion. It looks like the frog exploded, but the frog is completely unharmed and still adorable and breathes fire in that moment all over the creature that you're attacking, and then hops back to the alchemist where they get fly as a treat, or
awesome.
A good little death froggy.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice little pet to have.
Yeah. I mean, why can't this be a happy relationship? Although now I wonder, do fire frogs eat fireflies?
Oh, maybe that like gives some extra power.
Hmm.
That's what they have to eat. They're normal frogs, and then the
Oh, yeah, and they have to
alchemist
eat that.
like uses their alchemical wiles to create fireflies, and that's how you get fire. All right, this is all coming together. We have created a story for these frogs. I now need to create this alchemist character because this sounds amazing. Let me check on. Oh, we've got some questions. Archmagellis wants to know, do you have angelic or demonic on the list? I thought we had... Demons might be a thing. We had... Oh, we might not have either, actually.
I feel like we should, though. Those are great suggestions.
You know what I'm going to do? If the two of you are okay with it, if and when we add it, I want to add that as one category, and so you can each of you can decide. Do you want to make it a angelic, or do you want to make it a demonic creature?
Mm-hmm. And maybe we could, like, Michelle could do one and I could do the other.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Emote wanted to roll along. Can you show the list for a few seconds? Absolutely. Grab yourself a d20, like I have, and then go ahead and roll. Although, as I said, I would love if you would join us with the elemental fire frogs. I mean, I play a character that is all about the fire, so the more you would like to join us for fire, the happier I am. All right. Void Max Lives wants to know, what's your favorite monster that you have drawn?
There's so many of them. I think for Idle Champions, the Kraken was really cool because it was a big monster. I think I hadn't done too many of the huge boss monsters yet, so the Kraken was cool because I had to do it in two pieces, like one for all the tentacles and the separate for the big body.
And I don't draw that many monsters for Idle Champions, but my favorite one that I have done would be the zombie T-Rex.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that one was so cool.
Oh, the spittle and everything, yeah. And those are just two really cool monsters anyway. Tissafluffy, I hope I got that right. Are the artists using pens, or are you drawing with a mouse? I know we've had this question before, but we have new people coming to our chat all the time. Welcome to the show. So Michelle, Alexis, are you using... what is the stuff that you are currently using to create this amazing art?
Thank goodness it's not a mouse.
Yeah, thank goodness.
We have screen tablets and pens.
And they are using a program called Magma Studios, which is allowing the two of them to draw on the same canvas, although on separate layers, and allowing me to also watch along. I am around. There's my mouse. I'm not going to draw anything because I'm a musical bard, and they're the art bards. So I'm just here to watch and pass along awesome questions. Let's see. Aquatic Demon wants to submit for the list Raptor for animal, Flumph for monster, and Legendary for adjective. I kind of like Legendary for an adjective because that is so open-ended. Although in both D&D and in Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, Legendary has some connotations. Flumph is on the list. Flumph is, I believe... on the list. Flumph better be on the list. Why is Flumph not on the list?
Grave mistake.
Oh, jeez. I am ashamed. Flumph is not on this list. Also, Flumph is going under cute animals. I'm just making that decision. All right, Flumph. I don't understand why it's not on the list. That will be rectified soon. Thank you for letting me know. Luke McKay wants to know, would there be fire frogs in the elemental plane of fire? Yes. And could one of them be hiding in Orkira's bag? I'm going to say no, because Orkira right now has a handy haversack. So Orkira is for those of you who are Idle Champions fans, Orkira is a Dragonborn cleric that you can get in your game. She has a handy haversack, which is like a bag of holding, except not big enough to eat anybody. However, it's an extra dimensional space that only has 10 minutes worth of air. And I
Oh.
think a frog, especially a frog on fire that is going to consume a lot of oxygen, it would not be good to have a creature in there. These are not... No elemental fire frogs were harmed in the making of this show, so... but she would totally find them adorable.
That kind of brings up another thing too. Frogs are traditionally amphibious. So what happens to a fire frog if it goes in the water?
Ooh.
I think it depends on the strength... I think it depends on the strength of the fire and how many fireflies the alchemist has given them to eat before they jump in the water. So I think... Go ahead.
Did it dry up the lake?
Yeah, it tries up the lake. I was gonna say maybe it just turns back into a regular old frog.
Maybe. Or maybe it's still a fire frog, but you know, it's wet and it has to dry off before it can ignite again. Or maybe you have a full belly full of fireflies and you got enough gasoline in your tank, you can make an entire lake go away. Why not? Or you and your brethren. Maybe it's a... Oh, see, this happens every single time, and I should know this by now. What is a group of frogs called? A group of frogs is called an army. Why does this surprise me every time? All right, you have an army of elemental fire frogs, and you need to get rid of a lake. There we go. That's... Now I have an entire D&D adventure planned out for this alchemist. This is amazing. Let's see. Liberation wants to know, do the artists have to see each other's work on their screen? That would be super distracting to me. So that's actually an interesting question, because you can see each other's work. Is that distracting? Is that inspiring? Michelle?
I love watching Alexis draw in the corner of my eye. It gives me ideas, and it also is kind of like, oh crap, she took the idea. I was gonna do that. But no, it's fun seeing what she does.
Yeah, I would agree. And also we can kind of zoom in onto what we're doing in the canvas.
Yeah.
So we just kind of can look over when we want to and
Yeah.
zoom in when we just want to buckle down.
That makes sense. I mean, I'm distracted just watching your amazing art, and it's my job to talk. So I'm constantly not looking at it so that I cannot be distracted, because it's really good. It's kind of soothing, though, to watch. Oh, Gab454, could you show the results of last week, please? I would be more than happy to. Last week, we had Dark Gothic Basilisk Penguins. And as you can see on the screen, we created... something horrific. I think the story we settled on was these were penguins that developed a taste for basilisk meat, and this is the result. And now when you have an entire group of these gothic basilisk penguins, they can take down an orca.
Yep.
Also beak teeth.
Terrifying beak teeth.
Terrifying beak teeth, yes. Oh, someone's frog is cropped out. Oh no. Let me see what I can do to fix cropping. While I'm fixing cropping, if anyone has any more questions, because I think I've actually gotten through all of the questions. But let me see what I can...
Maybe I can move my frog over.
I can move mine over a little bit too, I think. As long as I can grab multiple layers.
Yeah, I don't know if you can grab multiple layers.
Well, no.
No.
There we go. Nope, I got it fixed. It was on my end. There we go. Yeah, it is surprisingly... This is a really cool program, and it is a lot of fun to be able to watch this art, to be able to watch the two of them draw, for the two of them to be able to collaborate like this. But my streaming skills are not up to the task of cropping all the time. But thank you for letting me know. I've gone ahead and fixed that, and now you can see all the full toes. I love how both of you have gone for those sticky pad toes. I'm sure there's a term for that. Ooh, Bacon of Spam has an interesting point. Different elements burn different colors. What elements would make the best elemental fire frog?
I guess copper. Does copper burn green?
So they're saying magnesium is white, copper would be cyan, gallium is blue. I know also the hotter it is, the different color it is. So maybe this is a kind of frog and where like you can tell how powerful it is because it is transitioned to a different color. So like it's kind of normally this reddish orange, but I believe blue, at least in stars.
Mm-hmm.
I know that from stars and some other fire, but like blue and white are actually hotter. So I wonder if, you know, if you're going to supercharge your alchemical frog, your elemental fire frog in order to throw it into a lake, then you want to make sure you at least get it blue.
Mm-hmm. No, I wish I had done mine a different color.
Yeah, same.
It's too late.
It is never too late. You can always, I mean, do what makes you happy.
I don't know if in this program you can like adjust colors. Like you can in
Yeah, you
Photoshop.
could.
Oh, okay.
Check. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some limitations to this program, but you know, the fun of this is doing it fast and being able to share the art. So,
Yeah.
see, and now I kind of want to make a whole. I was thinking I wanted to make a whole suite of frogs, an army of frogs, if I'm using the correct term. But the more I think about it, the more I like the idea of them color changing through power levels. It's very anime.
For sure. Like level up. You have evolved into Blue Frog.
Yeah. Oh, we've got some more questions. Luke is back, wants to know, have you both been able to take a moment and think about the most recent piece of game art that has appeared in the game? Or something recently, like even if it's in the last couple months or so. This may be a question we'll come back to.
Yeah.
We're all
tricky.
Go ahead.
No, it's just tricky. I've been off for quite a while. Like I just came back about a month ago, so I can't remember what I did like a year ago before I went off work for a bit.
Nothing that Michelle has done since she's come back is in game yet.
Oh, well then, you know, we'll just have to keep playing the game and see.
Soon though. And she's done a lot of really cool stuff, so it's coming.
I'm excited.
Oh, Jay says, do they get magical girl transformations for heat levels? For each heat level? Yes.
Yes, definitely.
100%. This is Sailor Moon style, 5 minutes epic anime. You have now transformed into Blue Frog and leveled up. It also does the level up noise from Final Fantasy. I mean, why not? Sure. In this world that we live in, why not all of them? Oh, we've got some more cute animals. Koala. Oh. Sorry, I've just been totally distracted by thinking about a koala. I'm the worst. Cassius wants to know, is there a stat difference between these two? Left frog definitely seems more dexy. I don't know. Michelle, you're working on left frog. Are you thinking of more of a dexterous kind of frog?
Yeah. This frog is like the ninja of elemental fire frog that can climb, jump, do everything. Very mobile.
I love it.
Yeah, mine's less mobile, but it's packing a punch in its throat right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, maybe it can throw fire further, and mine's more like mine has to get in your face.
One's ranged and one's melee.
Yeah.
Well, now we have classes for our levels of frog. This is a whole subsect of grung that we're gonna have to come up with. This is amazing. Speed frog versus modest frog. Yes. Arlaze wants to know what are the frog's Pokemon names? Okay, well, I don't know if we want to go strict Pokemon, but at this point names have come on up, so chat, I need to know, what are we naming these frogs? I'm soliciting feedback from you now. If you have a suggestion, please put it in chat. Let us know, what would you like to name these frogs? While you are thinking up names, I have noticed it's 3:30, so I'm going to welcome any of the new people who are coming in to our show. Welcome to the Sketching Hour. We are two artists and a person who talks at you, and we create art and characters and come up with silly stories about where these characters have come from, thanks to rolling on this rolling table and creating art right before your eyes. So join us, and if you want to join in yourself with drawing any of these creatures, either now or sometime during the week, you can @ us on all of the social media. You can use, especially on Twitter, use hashtag sketching hour, and definitely just ping us on all of the social media and draw your own. Today we've got elemental fire frogs, which are turning out to be hot. There, I said it. I said it. Last week we had dark gothic basilisk penguins, and we're constantly soliciting for more suggestions to switch out stuff. And now that I've talked for a little bit, let's see what suggestions we have in chat for names. Oh, now I gotta scroll up. Wow, that was a lot of names. We have ninja and mage frogs. Yeah, Mars is right. This is one step from becoming a grung adventuring party, right? A bunch of grung, all fire-based grung. Yes, 100%. Tagger says, right frog is a bard. Every belch throws out a fireball. I like it.
Belching bard.
Charcroc? Ooh. That sounds like a power and less of a name, but I like it as a power. Frog Knight and Lily Patter. Oh. Oh, that's adorable. Left frog is Torchy. Master Frog, Grumpy Master. I mean, we just have Mahen drop in the game today, so I think Grumpy and Gruff are in everyone's minds. Ratburn and Flame Toss. Ooh. Let's see. I'm not sure how to say that. So Z Andor has suggested Napalm backwards, and my brain is unable to Malapin? Malapin. I'll go with Malapin, sure.
Malapin, that sounds about right.
Malapin actually kind of sounds like a fun frog name, and then when you say it's napalm backwards. Ugh. Blaze and Glory. Yep, both of those are good.
That's awesome.
Left frog, Leaping Dragon, the Grung Monk, with access to 3rd edition Tome of Battle. Ooh, deep cuts. Oh, you're getting, Michelle, you were getting praise on the horse mane flame that you've got going on there.
Yeah, very nice.
All right, here we go. We've epic names now. Kings of Vagabonds has suggested that the left frog is Cornelius Worcester Gladius Maximus Walberg Fitzgerald III.
Ooh.
And the right frog is Philip. I like it. Ooh.
I also like those.
Yeah.
Mars is suggesting that the group name is a scorch of fire frogs. I mean,
That's awesome. I like that.
as much as it is amusing to me that a group of frogs, a real group of frogs, is an army of frogs, I think a scorch of fire frogs.
I didn't know that army was, that's the real name? An army of frogs?
According to a 5-second Google search, an army of frogs.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's see. And now everyone just wants to call the left one Flame Mane. And people are liking the blue feet going on that Alexis has. I like it because it's like it's in the process of powering up.
Yeah, he's getting hotter.
All right. It is a frog armada. That is correct. Left is Nitro, right is Fuse. That is a question, Mox Pro. Why, when you're gonna make up a name, a hoity-toity, sometimes, I immediately went British, but one of those hoity-toity long names, why are they always the third?
I think three is just like a nice round number. Why not throw it in there?
It does totally make sense, though. Oh, someone wants to call them, TK Slide wants to go Garwar and Mars. Oh. Adorable yet deadly. I take that as a compliment. I don't know about them. We'd have to see. We'll have to find out. I don't know if Garwar or Mars are in chat still, but if you are, which frog would you like to be? Blazing Beard and Barfire.
Barfire, like that. I like that too.
I wonder if that's how the alchemist figured out what they could do. Is they were like sitting around at a bar in a tavern, like you do as a D&D adventurer, playing with your alchemical supplies. You've got a couple of fireflies. You're like, oh, let's get some fireflies into this mixture, and then suddenly there's a bar fire. But now you have your two best friend fire frogs here. Mars says, as the enthusiastic one, they think they are the left frog. I don't know. I think Alexis's frog is just as enthusiastic. I mean, they're in the process of powering up, so
Yeah, but he also looks a little tired of, like, oh gosh, again.
This is a frog that is done. This is a frog that has had it.
Mm-hmm.
This is a frog that is powering up just to do one big explosion so that they could go back and to have a nap.
Yeah.
It's something about the eyes. It's something about that.
And the like tongue just sort of dripping out like
Yeah.
That bloop. Yeah. And now Garwar has come along and said that Alexis's description of his personality definitely means that's Garwar. All right. Well, I guess that settles it. Yeah, I'm not going to call them Mars and Garwar. I think these are now the pets of Mars and Garwar. They get their own names, but now these are gifts from our alchemical alchemist. Yeah, there we go. Do you? All right. Anyway, we've got some names. If we have any more questions in chat, go ahead and put those in, as we are quickly running out of time. While you are asking more questions, I have an update from Dylan, who has been very helpful and has been looking up new art that both of you have created that we can talk about. So the most recent art that he has pulled up includes some of the Van Richten variants. Ooh, the Slink and Zuni familiar, which just came out today. If you are looking for more familiars in your game, Slink and Zuni, especially Zuni, you gotta look at those eyes. They're adorable. Oh.
I was pretty happy with how Zuni came out, and like even their little tongue kind of pants up and down, and pretty happy with that.
Aw. You also have other recent art updates include the Bubbles familiar and the Red Cinnamon Panda familiar. So more adorable. Oh! And Orkira. You got Orkira in there, speaking of fire.
Our very talented Bronwyn drew Orkira and all her awesome flame effects.
I mean, I am biased, but I think Orkira is amazing.
She is amazing.
Yeah. And recent monsters include Kuatoa, the Demigorgon, Purple Worms, and Wormlings.
Which I think also would have been mostly Bronwyn.
Well, cheers to you, Bronwyn. Thank you. Also, cheers to the two of you. And as more stuff continues to be released in Idle Champions, and we get to talk about it on this show, we'll let you know. But thank you, Dylan, for the art update. That is super helpful.
Also, Ivy did a lot of those monsters too.
Thank you, Ivy. Ivy, who also did this drawing of Mehen, and also did a drawing of the Basilisk Penguin that you can find on her Twitter, that I would love to show you, except I grabbed technically the wrong art. Did I really grab the wrong art? Or did I just grab something amazing? Yeah.
Well, I think any of Ivy's art is the right art, so.
Yeah.
This is true. I'm not going to complain. I'm going to claim that it was an intentional thing.
And just a note, the Basilisk Penguin that Ivy did is a completely different take than both Michelle and I did, and it's amazing. So definitely check it out if you get a chance.
Absolutely. Well, and the two of you, let's go back to that. I think both of these are amazingly different takes. that are still very clearly basilisk penguins. So like this has been the fun of these last couple of episodes, is seeing how different things get. Whoops, we'll go back to the art here as I pull up Nightmare Fuel. All right, the basilisk penguins, a little bit, but hey, you know, if you're looking for a creature to throw at your D&D players, if you are looking for inspiration for a story that you're trying to write, sometimes you need a little, especially with Van Richten's Guide just coming out. I think we're all kind of in the dark and gothic mood. I mean, how many more months is it to Halloween? It's not that far, right? We're getting there. It's just around the corner in like 5 months or so.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh, and now everybody's talking about Slink and Zuni. Slink and Zuni. If you are not seeing Slink and Zuni in your game, give it a little bit of time. They're going to be available shortly. We had the update come out with Mehen and all the fun that's happening with the Great Modron March, and the team is working on that kind of stuff. You might have to restart your game, so if you're on Steam, you know, shut it down, turn it back on again. Same thing with Epic. You'd be surprised how often turn it off and turn it back on again actually fixes everything. Almost everything. Almost everything. I've yet to have it fix my oboe. That hasn't worked yet. But definitely, if you're not seeing it in your shop just yet, be a little patient. They'll come up. They're not a one-time thing. They're going to be around for a little while. Oh, Babylon Ragers, your birthday is on Halloween. That's actually, is that good? That sounds amazing. And now that I think about it, does that mean that you just get candy for your birthday? Because I wonder if that's the same as having a birthday on Christmas or New Year's or any other holiday where people are like, here you go, candy for your birthday again. As someone whose birthday every 12 to 17 years or so shows up on Easter. Yeah. Although I don't think mine is going to now happen again in my lifetime because of leap years. I have to do that math. I have an April birthday, so every once in a while I just end up in the right spot.
Do you enjoy having an Easter birthday when it does roll around?
It depends. When I was young, yes. Because I didn't mind getting all the Easter chocolate for my birthday. My mom is Jewish and my dad is Catholic, and so we kind of got a little bit of both, but then every once in a while my birthday would also be on Easter and I would just get like the giant basket. And it was amazing because chocolate is awesome. As I grew up, it was less good because as a professional musician, I'm often playing a gig on that day, and having to work on your birthday, not so fun. But, you know, it was also, there's also a couple of times where I didn't have to work, but then it's Easter, and so everybody kind of wants to hang out with their family, because that's a very, for people who celebrate, that's a very family-oriented holiday. So it kind of depended on the year. Do either of your birthdays fall near to a holiday, or do you not want to say?
No, mine is early October, so there's not usually anything around there, but I did always wish it was closer to Halloween so that I could have like a costume birthday party.
Ooh.
Mine's the middle of summer, so not much happening then except fun in the sun.
That's not a bad thing.
Oh yeah, it was fun. Went to the water slides for my birthday when I was a kid.
Are you into water parks? Is that a thing? Like, are you a fan of water slides and water parks and wave pools and all of that?
Oh, I'm a fan of anything water.
Really?
Michelle's part mermaid.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm all in the water.
I did not know this. Any specific reason or just an affinity?
No, I don't know. I just love it. I've been scuba diving and I do lots of, free diving and
nice.
all kinds of things.
Now, free diving is the one in where you just have a snorkel and how long can you hold your breath, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So as someone who lived in Florida for a couple of years and didn't even go to the beach, I know.
No.
What got you? I was on a boat once or twice, but no. What got you into, because snorkeling I can kind of understand, because you go snorkeling, you go like see reefs and go view fish and go do all of that. And I understand the appeal of swimming, but free diving, that's a skill. Like, what was the impetus behind learning how to do that?
I think, well, I was scuba diving for years before that, and I love scuba diving, but the gear, like getting all the gear on and like lugging the gear around, it's so heavy, such a pain in the butt, and it takes like half a day just to do a dive because you have to get everything ready. So free diving, you just like grab your wetsuit and like just a few things, and then you're out the door, and you can do it so quickly, and it's so much easier to get ready. I don't know, it's just really nice, and you can stay in the water for longer.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Alexis, how about you? Are you secretly a mermaid?
Not as much as Michelle. I do enjoy swimming. We actually used to, before pandemic times, ride our bikes out to the ocean after work and go for swims in the summer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm more like part forest fairy. I like to spend my time on trails and in the forest, in the deep, dark woods.
And we are here in the Pacific Northwest, where there is quite a few of those.
Lots and lots. Very happy.
Have you had a chance? I've been wanting to do this, but there is apparently, and it's in Washington State, so you have to come across the border, I think. Have you had a chance to go to the rainforest that's here?
I don't think so. The only like hiking and running I've done in the States has been on like Orcas Island. Yeah, which is very beautiful. And it's rainy in a forest as well.
Yeah, I've wanted to go just because it's the thing. So for those that don't know, this area has the world's only non-tropical rainforest. I think I've said that right. If I have not, that is my fault. But yeah, there's just a rainforest here in Washington State. And so I've wanted to go because I thought that sounds interesting, and the pictures I've seen are gorgeous, and I am not an outdoor person. So I would love to go for like a day and then come home. Sleep in my own bed. I've been super distracted by all of this outdoor stuff, and now I haven't been looking at chat. Lieutenant Farva, people are talking about their birthdays. So Lieutenant Farva, April 9th here, only had to deal with Easter once. So I'm April 7th, so same thing. Happened a bunch when I was younger, and it's been less and less as the years go on. And it's something about leap years move when Easter happens. And so I just know the last time I looked at that, it was not going to happen again in probably my lifetime. Now Luke, my husband, was his birthday is like a week after mine, and so but it's later enough in April, and where he was actually born on Easter Day, but it's probably not going to happen again in his lifetime either, but it might come up. So yay, cycles of calendars and things. Counting Coup says yours is within a couple days of Mother's Day. Angela Spark, yes. A well-rounded community manager needs time to do other things besides be a community manager. And I do sleep, although naps. I miss naps. Naps are fun. Duena says they've got January 4th, so only a couple days after the New Year. Dylan also has a birthday on an important date this year, or each year. I mean, Dylan's birthday is just an important date. I'm just going to say that. All right. Did we have any other questions as we are getting towards the end of our time? Hoping everyone's talking about the rainforest. This is what I get for getting distracted by the two of you being much more outdoorsy than I am. Since we are getting to the end here, why don't the two of you tell us a little bit about your thought process behind creating these frogs as you finish things up? Alexis, what was the inspiration and what came next on your frog?
Well, the first thing that I considered was like the big throat thing, and I wanted to make it all like kind of fiery and magma-ish looking, and Yeah, and then I just kind of drew outwards from that. And also I wanted fire coming out of like little tubes on its back, because why not?
So I have to ask,
Cool.
when this thing croaks,
Mhm.
and I mean that they're making noise, not that they're dying, because no frogs were harmed in the making of this art. Do the flames on their back get bigger, or do they decrease?
I think the flames on the back decrease as they fire out of the mouth.
That makes sense. That makes sense. And then they have to build up again. All
Because
right.
you need the tubes to allow the oxygen into the frog so that the fire can, be in there.
Oh, so they're like cycling. So the flame is gone, gone, gone. Ah, I like that a lot. Nice. And Michelle, how about yours? What did you start with, and what'd you end up going with here?
I don't know. I just think my frog is like so hot that it just bursts into flame, and then the faster it goes, the more the bigger the flames get, because the oxygen feeds it more.
Yeah.
So it's just like burning through the forest with like flames flying out. And
Also,
once it slows down, maybe the flames kind of die out for a bit.
it takes a nap and it's just smoldering.
Yeah, and it all dies down a bit, and then it reignites when it hops away.
Also, your frog looks super pissed. I'm gonna say it. They got this epic look on their face of like, I'm gonna burn this whole forest down. It's gonna happen.
It's very
Amazing.
determined looking.
All right, one of the other questions I end up asking every single time, I've been making the assumption, at least because these are frogs, that these are frog-sized frogs. Are they actual frog-sized frogs, or have we created monstrously massive-sized creatures, or are these tiny?
I think mine would have to be tiny, otherwise it would just burn up all the oxygen in the atmosphere, and that would be really, really bad. So it's just a little guy.
Yeah.
A Tarrasque-sized elemental fire frog, and it's alive for 5 minutes, and then everyone just passes out.
World-ending event.
Yeah.
How about yours, Michelle?
I agree. I think I pictured mine as a frog-sized frog. Nothing majorly different size-wise.
I like what Forgotten Realms has said here in the chat. They're miniature giant space frogs.
Obviously.
Absolutely. Boo would get along with these two frogs very, very well. We've got a couple more questions in chat. Let's see if I can get through them pretty quick. Master Billingsworth wants to know, is there any talk of having the community vote on these drawings to actually have one of them end up in the game? At the moment, we are just doing this for fun. These are two of the artists who work on Idle Champions doing fun art, and we're just answering questions. None of this is directly related to the game, but hey, if you like what we do and you want to follow along, then let us know, and you never know what might happen in the future. But for the moment, we're just making fun art and nothing game related, although when you bring up community vote, let me ask Michelle and Alexis, would you be interested in one of these weeks having the community vote on what they want off these tables instead of us rolling?
Oh, for sure. I
Yeah.
think we could come up with something really cool if it was community guided.
We wouldn't be able to have the full 20 for each of these. I'd probably have to pick and choose a couple, because I think some of our socials will only let us do like 4 or 5 things. So yeah, maybe I'll look into that for another episode, is asking the community to pick stuff for us. That could be fun.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Someone in chat has invoked Spelljammer. Oh no, so Spelljammer ship picks them up at the sun and then releases them onto other planets. Well, that's only if they're the Tarrasque-sized ones. So, but we have confirmed from the artists themselves, these are tiny little frogs. Little tiny frogs.
These little guys.
And I'm still going with the idea that these are friends of an alchemist who's created them, and now they go into battle together to battle evil and destroy evil forests. Sure, why not? They're evil forests. There are bad druids. Sure.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. All right, in these last couple of minutes, I am going to let everybody know that we are not the only art stream that you can find on the CNE Twitch. That's right, we have some other streams for some of our other games. If you're a fan of, you can check out Crusaders Weekly with Erica and Kat, which is on Thursdays at 10 a.m. You can check out Bushwhacker Weekly with Nick and Georgia, which is on Fridays at 3:30. All those times are Pacific, and you can see more art from other games that CNE produces. And if you want to see more Idle Champions art, if you show up on Friday mornings for Griddle Champions, you can watch Sean and Lee as they create more art from our game. Those will be more directly related to Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, and Sean answers lots of questions from chat, and it's all on pancakes, because Friday mornings require pancakes. So definitely show up for those. If you want to make your own version of the Elemental Fire Frog, make sure that you post about it on social media after you are done, because we want to see it, because you're awesome, and it's just fun to show off everybody's art. And finally, in these last few minutes, Michelle, where can we find you on the social medias?
There's my Instagram, Michelle Papadopoulos, just all one word. And on Twitter, I'm at Art of Michelle.
Awesome. And Alexis?
On Instagram, I'm at alexis.thero, and on Twitter, I'm at alexisthero.
Awesome. And I'm Lauren Urban. I'm the community manager for Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. You can find me as Obo Lauren on Twitter, which is kind of the best way to find me. I don't do art. I just promote awesome artists like the two of them. Come back tomorrow? Yes. I had a moment where I had to think about what was happening after the show. I'm like, what's the schedule? Yes, come back tomorrow for Griddle Champions, which, as I said, is amazing art on pancakes. Edible art, which is awesome. Thank you to Jay and Sasha, who are amazing mods and producers and make sure that I get all of the questions and fix all of the things. Thank you, Dylan, for also being around in chat and helping with all of the questions and all of the things. Thank you to all the people in chat for coming up with some awesome names and suggestions and just having fun and enjoying this game that we love so much. And thank you, Wizards of the Coast and D&D, because, hey, D&D is fun, and we always have fun doing D&D stuff on this channel. Make sure to follow us on follow us on social medias, and also follow this channel if you would like to get alerts for when we go live. And I think that's all of the things that I am supposed to do. If I've forgotten something, I'll remember it next week. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Michelle and Alexis, and we'll see you next encounter. Bye.
Thanks, bye.
Thanks, bye.